Can anyone, oh good, I'm live everywhere. Hi everybody. So can everyone let me know if I'm upside down or you can't hear me? Those kinds of problems we should fix now if you're having any issues. So looks like somebody's loading on YouTube. So I usually give about 2 to 5 minutes before I start and let everybody get on live. Okay? So, hi Susie. Hi Anna. Oh good, Anna, I'm glad you're watching. So we're going over all of not only the protocols but techniques you can use with acne to basically treat your clients and give them long-term results. Because if any of you have acne, you know. Oh good, hi Carol, I can see you on YouTube. I hope it works on YouTube. I'm getting brand new internet so I can go live frequently at our new place. I'll have an office just to go live for you guys. I'll have it available all day for all of my crazy ideas. Oh good, oh good. I'm not upside down, right? Everybody, heads, okay, head. Good, everybody can hear me and everything's working. It was funny, one of our teachers spent most of their class upside down once, so we got to make sure everything's working. So some of what we're going to go over is applicable to any line and in any treatment program that you're using for acne, and some of it is specific to our line because we have a lot of you starting up with Jessa Skincare. And let's see. So let's get started. So what I hear a lot is that we have a lot of estheticians treating acne out there, and number one, clients are looking for, I see one on YouTube, it's not working for you. You can go over to Facebook and watch it there, or vice versa. So if I'm not working for some reason, try reloading it. Okay? All right, let's get to teaching. So what I hear a lot is that clients are asking frequently for a natural way to treat acne, and that's really tricky in our industry. Okay, so our products are 70 to 100% organic. Anything that's not organic is not grown with a lot of pesticides, and it's also it's going to be extracted with something healthy. So glycolic acid is used sometimes in the treatment of acne, for example, and 95% of the glycolics on the market are extracted with formaldehyde. And if you think about that, for acne being an inflammatory condition, you don't want to introduce anything with acneic skin that is going to cause more inflammation and more irritation. And the comedogenic scale, as far as what an ingredient is rated as far as clogging the skin, is different than the irritation scale. So I just saw a treatment on one of the Facebook posts where they use acetone and dry ice, for example, and they do like a slush facial, and they've been done for years, but they were getting some press because I guess one of the Kardashians was doing it for clear skin. The problem with acetone is it's a 5 out of 5 on the irritation scale. So long-term acetone, for example, is not going to be great for acne. So one other thing that is half the battle with acne is their lifestyle changes. So at the top of my post in Facebook and in the email we sent out today, it has all of this information that you can print out. And if you can't find it, you can contact me on Facebook, or on our hotline is 415-272-3398. If you text me tonight on that number because you don't have the protocols, I will text you back with the links where you can print all of this. So we actually give these acne checklists to our clients. They're going to be hard to read on here, but you can see how extensive this is, and this is a big thing that we need to go over today. Even my estheticians that are having trouble clearing their skin, usually they're having a problem with this versus the products not working. Those of you who are strictly acne specialists, you know what I'm talking about. A lot of you won't even treat an acne client unless they will be compliant. No treatment unless they comply. And if they don't comply, you need to tell them realistically they're going to keep breaking out. So there's a lot of reasons for that. We'll go over this first after we get an overview of all of your little documents, okay? So we made an acne facial protocol so that you guys have this and you have an idea. You can customize all of our treatments a little bit, but we know our products work because we've worked with a lot of clients, hundreds if not maybe thousands of acne clients in our clinic. So I know a lot of you know me for sugaring, but I've had a heavy focus on skincare through my career, and I reformulated our whole line several years ago specifically to be more friendly with blemish prone skin. And my skin was stage 3, stage 4 acne. I do have a little makeup on, but it's really light mineral based makeup, but you can see there's not a lot of deep scarring left over. So sometimes you guys see pictures of me without makeup on, and I do that a lot on purpose. Even when I was young, I had distended capillaries all over my cheeks and my nose, and the way I solved all of that was with proper skincare and the right actives. So I had that going on. Keratosis pilaris, which is a cell turnover problem, and that's the same problem that you're going to experience with acne. Is people who have acne are producing too many skin cells and their bodies can't turn them over. So the first thing you need to do is get enough exfoliation, you know, along with something that's going to help disrupt the bacteria and that kind of thing. So the new documents that I made for you guys are an acne facial. This is home care. So some of you were asking me for an email not that long ago, and I delayed it because I was still editing these. So there's a dry sensitive blemish kit that what you can do is you can select and customize the products a little bit, but some of them there's not another option. See, like the triple blemish control. Now, even though I'm not the hugest fan of BPO, I think that there's some cases where people who are cheating a little bit on their lifestyle, or people who need to clear up quickly, that they could use it temporarily. So I'm thinking about making one sulfur mask and one BPO so that you guys have more tools and that they're really, really clean base formulas, just so you know. But the triple blemish control has been our treatment. Okay, so let's finish. There's one more thing here. So these can be printed out, and the directions on how to use the product are on here, and you can check off which one you're giving your client. And then they have this sheet that they can take home, and it helps them use everything properly. But these two kits with small variations are what we've been treating our clients with for a long time now. I think some of you have seen the before and afters, and if you've seen those, we've done before and afters the last couple years on estheticians on purpose, because we wanted to take estheticians that had tried everything and they were still struggling with their skin, and we wanted to use them as our models and clear them up long term. And I'm happy to say multiple models that we cleared a couple years ago are clear since we treated them. So you can experience that for yourself and for your clients. But the lifestyle list is going to be the biggest battle. The products, we know that they work. The only variations you need to create with clients with products are you need to keep the skin guessing. Don't let it acclimate to the program that you're putting someone on with acne. It doesn't mean that all of their products need to change constantly. It means the way that they're using certain products need to be rotated a specific way, and then they get the maximum results. Okay, so the last document here, and this is all printable, this is the comedogenic and also the irritation list. And I'm sure there's some things we missed in here, but this is pretty thick, okay? And you need to start learning the ingredients with acne. And one big thing you don't want to see in acne products are fragrance and perfume, and those are, sometimes it's perfume, but it's parfum in some of them. So you don't want any synthetic fragrance in anything people are using who have acne, okay? And the reason is, not only have they proven that those are cancer causing, but the skin treats it like it doesn't know what to do with it when it's not natural, okay? So any ingredient that is man-made, that's hard for the body to recognize, you might smell lavender when you're smelling a synthetic lavender, but your body doesn't go, oh hey, that's good for headaches, and that's good for, your body knows what to do when things are grown in nature. It doesn't always know what to do with man-made ingredients, and some are worse than others. Some of them mimic natural ingredients better than others, okay? So let's actually, I lied. Let's go over what you're gonna do in your treatment room first, since this is gonna be about an hour, this class, okay? Unless I get through everything a lot faster than I think. So I said we were going to go over lifestyle, but we'll go over that next because it takes a long time and I don't want any of you to have to jump off and miss the treatment part. What are you going to do with your clients, okay? So with the acne treatments, in the beginning, when you're clearing them up, you need to get them on home care and get them off of all products that could break them out at home, including the foods and all the other things that we're going to go over. So they really need to get your program. In most cases, they don't have products that are working, or they would be clear. So you have to be kind of strict, but you can be nice about it, okay? So what we recommend when people are trying to clear rapidly is they do a series of extractions and peels. And peels are much better than something like, let's say, Microderm. Microderm's not good when they have big cysts. It can actually be kind of contraindicated to do it while they're clearing, not after they're clear and they have scarring. But it's a much better idea to do more of an enzyme or an acid type of exfoliation versus manual exfoliation, and like scrubbing and blasting the skin with Microderm it's not typically something you do during the initial clearing. It's not helpful. It could create a major problem for some people. So I don't use LED, but some of you do, and LED is a good complementary treatment. Some of us are doing the nano pen treatments, and those are a little gentler than microderm, but you are moving over the skin, you know, with a wand. That's going to probably be a good idea when their skin starts to clear also for the nano treatments. And cupping I really like as well. That's something we've started doing, and that gets down into the lymph and the muscle tissue, and it's really amazing. So again, when they have scarring and that kind of thing afterwards, you can add in some of those complementary treatments. You could do some high frequency, some LED with your initial treatments. Anything where the only thing that you're going to do that's going to be a little more invasive to get them clear is you're going to do extractions, and you should do them every 2 weeks when you're clearing them up. Don't do a week apart, because they tend to have a couple days of healing time, not where they look crazy, but you know, you're extracting some large breakouts sometimes, and there's going to be a little spot that needs to heal. If it's a blackhead, it's going to be gone, and you know, their pores close up by the end of the facial a lot of times. If they're the big teenage type blackheads, if you know what I mean, those big ones that they're kind of hormonal, that the teens get, a lot of them up here from sweat and hormones, those stretch the pore out a little bit, and those take a little longer basically to heal up after a treatment. So the more soothing and reparative masks and things you choose when you're doing a lot of extractions, the better they're going to look when they leave. Okay, so you're going to tell your client that they need to do a good extraction facial. They need to do that every couple of weeks, and usually by the time they hit 3 to 6 of those treatments, their skin's looking pretty good. It takes 8 to 12 weeks for them to clear completely. And the peels I recommend, especially on really inflamed acne, is don't go straight for our pumpkin peel. You should use the luminous, the sugar twist, or the mandelic. Mandelic is a proven ingredient for skin that breaks out. Okay, so we have a mandelic. There's 5% mandelic with 2% glycolic, lactic, kojic, and grape in our triple blemish control. So 5% mandelic, the rest of the blend are the other acids, and the reason I put those in there is because it creates a better treatment. So each time you use a blend of acids versus one or the other, the results show, when they've studied it, that you get better results that way. So if you just use mandelic or just glycolic or just retin-A, you're not going to get as good a result as when you combine them. They especially did a study on this with glycolic and retin-A. They were they called the results comparable with both when they were used separately, but when they had people combine the two, they got way better results. So that's important to know which ingredients and treatments work like that when you're treating acne, so that you can take certain formulas and you can maximize the treatment. And then there are other formulas where you don't want to cram too many things in one formula. So serums are a better place to see a lot of actives versus seeing them in creams, if that makes sense. So a lot of our creams are really reparative, and then they get their treatment in other steps, but they get good actives as far as moisturizing and improving scarring for acne in that case. So let's see, let's start. So all of the products that we like to use during the facial are in here. I have an extraction technique called the lift and pump method that I really like, because I used the fingers, I used Q-tips, I used the loop. I did it all for multiple years, not just like a little taste and then I switched. I tried them all for a long time, and once you get the hang of the lift and pump, it's quick and you can get everything out and it leaves the least amount of irritation. I've taught a lot of estheticians in my spa now, and even the ones that didn't think it would go that way because they were attached to another extraction method, they agreed once they got the hang of it that it causes, you know, the least amount of histamine, and you see a little bit of trauma kind of after extractions. Not major trauma, but mini trauma, like when you're doing sugaring or waxing, you get a little bit of recovery that you need to do. Okay, so that's kind of an overview of how to prescribe your program of them coming to see you. And I don't recommend, if they're not going to use the home care and they're not going to follow the lifestyle list, you're not going to be able to clear them, is the bottom line. So you want to make sure they're really ready to make a change. Okay, so let's go to the Acne Checklist. You guys have seen this for a long time, but I still find that people miss a lot on this. And usually when a client hits 8 to 12 weeks and they're still having a major cycle happen, I don't know if my esthetician is on. There's an esthetician that's one of my sugaring trainers, and we're treating her for acne right now. And we went through maybe 3 or 4 months where her skin would get clear for a week, and then it would cycle back through a horrible cycle of breakouts. And the reason was this. Not only was there fragrance still in her body wash and her hair product, but she had done an allergy test and found out she had allergies to 3 foods she was eating constantly. I actually told her one of her photos looked scary that she sent me because she was having anaphylactic swelling in her face, and then her skin would explode and really inflamed breakouts. And not something any of us want to have going on for ourselves or our clients. So the reason was this, and this is usually what the problem is. Let me give you another case example, and that is, I had a teen that had been clear for 1.5 years. She got really sick one week and came in, and I said, what did you do? Because she had a big breakout. And especially if it's here on their forehead and right in between the eyes, that tends to be more digestion, you know, and that kind of thing, or something that they ate. It can also show up here if it's a food that has hormones in it, like dairy and meat and that kind of thing. You want to try to get grass-fed, hi Mary, and organic as much as you can, so that the animals themselves are not treated with all of those antibiotics and all kinds of things. The other thing that was an eye-opener, so let's get into, we're getting into food awareness. So I don't know if any of you have this printed yet, but food awareness is number 1, okay? So that's what we're starting to talk about. My teen client, I don't think I finished my thought. She had eaten soup for 10 days in a row, and soup is full of sodium. And I'm super intuitive kind of now with my lifestyle list, which you'll get there too, where you'll see certain things and then you know how or you know which questions to start asking, kind of. You know, as soon as my client said she was sick, I thought, uh-oh, soup. You know what I mean? So you're going to get really good at figuring out what it is that changed the situation. So food allergies, that's what we were talking about with one of the estheticians I'm working with. There's a top 8 food allergy list. So I might look down and read some things so I don't forget anything, so forgive me for looking away. And the top 8 allergies are milk, eggs, peanuts, tree nuts, which include almonds, cashews, walnuts, fish, bass, cod, flounder, shellfish, and soy, wheat, and gluten. Okay, so some of those categories are one thing, but we put some detail in there about what those things are. Okay, so when you cut foods out, it can take 6 months for your digestive tract to heal. I have had a terrible time in my life with food allergies. I had a problem with gluten and soy, and my body is now kind of hypersensitive because I basically ate all those things until I was 18, 20 years old, and then I didn't figure soy out until 7 years ago. And soy was part of the problem as far as me breaking out more after my twins. Soy was in my diet still, and my body reacted to it even more. So pregnancy can do that. And I think down further on the list, we're going to get to hormones. And hormones change for a lot of reasons. Yes, we're going to get down to it. So it's a good idea to have people take a really good probiotic. The one I recommend that got recommended to me over and over again by osteopaths. I had multiple chiropractors, multiple, what am I trying to think of here? Chiropractor, nutritionists, and an osteopath all told me to get Primal Defense as the probiotic. But I found out that Garden of Life has a professional brand called Original Medicine, and Original Medicine has basically the same probiotic, and it's way cheaper. It's like $35 or $36. It's not $50 a bottle. So we carry that for our clients to buy. If you didn't know this, you can buy and purchase a lot of supplements. I was just talking to Anna about that the other week, if you're still there, Anna. You, with your spa license and your professional license, you can actually open accounts and get supplements for 50% off. Okay, wholesale. So it's a good idea to have a few things that people might need who have problem skin. Okay, and eat organic as much as you can with acne. I know it's expensive, but what it eliminates are a lot of man-made toxins, pesticides, GMOs. Figure out which foods are. There's a great movie called Genetic Roulette, and it was all about GMOs, and there's a section or a portion of that movie that's about autism. And autistic kids have really, really inflamed digestive tracts a lot of times, and it goes along with it. And this is kind of yucky, but they dissected pigs that were food, the poor piggies, but one had eaten organic corn and the other one ate GMO corn, and the one that ate GMOs looked like a bomb went off inside. I mean, it was completely inflamed, every single organ, and the only difference was organic corn and GMO corn. So if you don't believe it's a problem, it's a problem. Any inflammation inside translates a lot of times on people's skin that have acne. So it's not just food allergies. It's not just look out for salt, milk, and certain things. It's also foods that could be inflammatory. So something else that's inflammatory that I need to elaborate on our list a little more on is certain foods turn into sugar, when they're in your body. So white rice, for example, it converts straight into sugar. A lot of carb foods can convert into large amounts of sugar, and that can cause a problem, for people. So one other thing to look out for, back to GMOs. So the foods to look out for are on their list, which are sugar, corn, soy, aspartame, milk, canola oil, zucchini, papaya, yellow squash, and tomatoes. Another family of foods to look out for when somebody's really inflamed is the nightshade family. Okay? Also, food combining is something else. You've really got to pay attention to what's going in. But once somebody's clear and their skin is stable, if they have a little whoops, moment while they're out eating or something like that, their skin's not going to tank from that one. My rule is they could do maybe 1 or 2 things accidentally in a week if their skin's under control, and it's not going to get them. But if they do that, it depends on what that thing is, though. Some people are highly reactive to certain things on the list, okay? So what you want to do is figure out what each client is highly reactive to. And remember, internal is only half the battle. People with acne, whether they do everything perfect on the checklist, they still have a genetic issue with too many skin cells being produced, like 5 times the normal amount. So they're going to need exfoliation, they're going to need extra attention with their products, and they're going to need the right products. They won't just be able to do this or the product and get results. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way with acne. So, iodinized salt. People with acne need to avoid iodine, and getting highly salted foods like, chips, soup, sea kelp, seaweed, all of those things are going to be an issue, especially if they eat a lot of it accidentally. Himalayan salt is sometimes okay. Here's the other problem with salt. It's not just the iodine, and I bet a lot of you haven't heard this part about it for acne. You've heard about the iodine, I'm sure. The other problem with table salt is they put it through man-made chemical processes, and there's chemicals, in the salt. So it turns into another substance that's sort of agitating to our bodies, like GMOs. So you need to get the really good salts that are natural salts, like Himalayan salt tends to be okay, even though it has a tiny bit of iodine. So don't go, pile of salt on the food. But, you need to go really light on the salt while you're clearing up, especially. Erin says, could this checklist be used for people to make improvements for overall health and good skin? Yes, this checklist, I should not just have acne on here. This can be used for people that have all kinds of skin conditions going on, like especially if they have some kind of dermatitis, rosacea. Rosacea has to do everything on here or they're going to be in trouble. And then sometimes people with eczema or psoriasis, it improves when following these things, but those people, if they get stressed out or they don't sleep, which is all on here, then, they're going to still have a flare-up. So you're going to be human. And so what I tell my clients is that if they have a slip-up and it's minor and it's minimal, it's not more than once or twice, 1 or 2 little things in a week, and hopefully that's not happening every week, right? Then they're not going to have a disaster on their hands, okay? Biotin is, if you read side effects of biotin, which is in a lot of multivitamins and people use it for their skin and hair, a side effect of too much biotin is acne. It's right on the side effects. So look it up, but don't overload your system with biotin. If you want, better hair and nails and that kind of thing, it's actually better to work on the immune system. Oh, my YouTube keeps saying very bad, very bad connection. So I apologize, my YouTubers. I hope it's working and I'll get better internet really soon. So let's see, biotin. Let's go over vitamins in general for a second. Most vitamins are okay, but a lot of people are overdoing it on vitamins these days. When I get a liquid multivitamin, even with all my deficiencies and problems, you don't need to take as much of vitamins as they tell you. And here's the reason why. I used to work with a chiropractor that did blood work on everyone. And what happens is you have levels of each vitamin in your body. So when you take a lot of a multivitamin every day, your levels go up to very high. And then certain vitamins, it starts bugging your system actually. So it's good to get a test to see where your vitamin levels are at, and don't overload your body. When I go get tests and I'm only taking my multivitamin every other day or every third day because I'm taking it regularly, they get the levels are staying at a good level. And I also do a test every now and then to see if I'm deficient in anything. So my skin did really bad when I was deficient in vitamin A, and I was deficient in folic acid at one point. Okay, let's see, on to the next. So caffeine. Don't drink too much caffeine or smoke cigarettes, which is down a little further, because it stresses your adrenals out. If you have 1 cup a day, I'm not worried about you, but drink organic, and drink your tea organic. Those are 2 of the most highly sprayed crops out there. So you're loading up on pesticides and all kinds of nasty stuff your body doesn't want if you're not getting those things organic. Non-organic coffee is very acidic too, and organic coffee is not nearly as acidic. So you need to go organic and cleaner on the things that you like to do every day, okay? Even on your supplements and those kinds of things, try to get organic herbs. You just don't want them to be growing the crop with any pesticides or anything that's going to bug your body, okay? And let's see, alcohol and soy. So soy and alcohol, even flaxseed, believe it or not, they raise your estrogen levels significantly. So when your estrogen levels are higher, it can lead to more dehydration, toxicity. Sometimes estrogen can actually be converted into androgens, into the male hormones, and then those hormones make you break out. So my nutritionist, a really good one that I love, said that, have you ever seen the beer bellies in the guys that look pregnant? And she said that's high levels of estrogen, giving them like a pregnant like belly. Or if you've had an issue in that area and you drink a lot of alcohol each week, or you drink it at night and you drink enough, it's also like eating a candy bar. There's so much sugar in alcohol. So it's just bad, unfortunately, all the way around. I still have my little margarita. I love tequila when I do have it because it's made with agave, and a lot of alcohols are brewed. Grapes are highly sprayed and toxic, and then a lot of other alcohols are brewed with sugar. So if it's not organic, you're getting more and more and more of the bad stuff. You can see how cumulative all of this is. So if you start getting all of these things in these categories, you can see why your body goes a little bit haywire, right? Let's see. And let's see. So environmental allergies and smoking. So if you have allergies or you smoke, it can cause large breakouts in the cheek zone. This is kind of where your lung stuff shows up. It also changes your hormone balance. Stress causes cortisol. Sleep, not enough sleep, 7 hours a night. We're going to go over that too in a minute. stress, sleep, allergies, smoking, they all stress the body, and that releases cortisol, and that's not a good thing for acne because it turns into breakouts. Something funny you'll see though with people with allergies is they'll get these big cysts here, even if they smoke cigarettes or they smoke something else. You gotta check it all and just keep it confidential for your clients. But if they're smoking, they're smoking. And you will also see right over the lung area in the back here, you're gonna see I used to get big cysts back here, and I hate to admit, but when I was in beauty school for a couple years, I smoked cloves, I think. And I don't know why I did that, but I very quickly learned that when you were going upstairs or doing anything, you're out of breath, and it was terrible. And then, you get big cysts over your lungs, or you can, some people don't. And that's because your lungs aren't happy. So that with people with allergies or who smoke. Hormones. Every 7 to 10 years, we all go through a massive shift in our hormones. Now, just like birth control, sometimes 1/3 stay the same, 1/3 their skin gets worse, 1/3 their skin all of a sudden is better. Same thing when they start birth control. Now that's like Russian roulette right there. I don't know why. It was a classic, thing for dermatologists to prescribe birth control. In birth control, you've got a 33% chance that your skin's going to get worse. Not only that, but birth control's on the top 10 breast cancer list, so a lot of women are in the category where they're at an increased risk, and you don't want to take it if you don't have to. There's a way to detox from it, but we'll get into that another day. So also, if you have a baby, it can trigger one of those changes, okay? Also, the teen years are one of those times where everything changes. So teens are like an obvious time where they're going through one of those big changes. So back to products with fragrance, parfum, or other toxic chemicals that disrupt hormones. So there's a lot of ingredients that are not natural that are hormone disruptors, and you do not want any of your acne clients with any ingredient that is a hormone disruptor. They have enough going on. So let's see. Also, something that's going to affect their hormones, which we went over a little bit, was non-natural meat, dairy, soy, flax. Eating or drinking out of plastic. I forgot to mention that earlier. If you're drinking out of plastic water bottles all the time, get a glass one. You'll see me, this is a really old ratty one, but you'll see me, that's my little Metatron's cube. I use clean canteens, I use stainless steel, and I use glass containers. This is my big clean canteen, okay? And tell your acne clients to find one. I think this is 48 ounces, so 40 ounces. I know I have to drink 2 of these a day, or I'm running chronically dehydrated. If your acne client is running chronically dehydrated, they can't purge the toxins, and then the purge will come out on their skin, okay? Let's see. So water, I just got into that as the next thing. Stay hydrated, because you can't detox. We're also 70% water, our bodies are, so certain organs and things start malfunctioning when they're dehydrated. They turn into little raisins. No, not really, but you can think about it that way. Our brain is also electrical, so your brain is going to malfunction when you're dehydrated. It's like an electrical system in there, and it needs water to conduct all of the nerve electricity and everything in our bodies. So not only is it for detox, but their skin is going to heal slower, And oh shoot, I just saw a comment on YouTube. I'm gonna try to see if I can see them. YouTube being live, it's new, everybody. Let's see. Show live chat messages. It won't show me. Well, poo. I just saw a long question come up and I can't see it. Sorry. And I couldn't find them after my last live video, so I'll figure it out. YouTube live is new, but we were having trouble with people finding these videos in Esthetician Talk after they were, you know, completed and disappeared a few weeks later. So slow healing with dehydration, toxicity, and slow skin cell turnover. Okay? You don't want any of that going on. It also stays more oily and toxic if they're drinking soda, sugar, caffeine, GMOs, you know. If they sweat a lot too, they're going to get dehydrated faster. Or they exercise and they sweat a lot. They need to drink more water. The rule is half your body weight in ounces, okay? So if you're 150 pounds, let's say, then you need 75 ounces a day. If you do a big workout and you sweat for an hour or two, you're going to need as much as a couple glasses more, even a whole nother liter. It depends on how much you sweat, okay? Let's see. So now to sweating. If you do any activities where you sweat, then you need to wash your face as fast as possible because the bacteria gets going right away. So if you sweat and you let it sit there for a half an hour to an hour, you might get a pimple or two, and your clients need to know that. Even if you're washing 3 times a day on the workout days, just try not to, you know, if you're doing it for yourself, let your skin get overly dry. You got to moisturize really well if you're doing that. And like I said, the sweat can cause bacteria, clogging. You'll see a lot of blackheads on people who are sweating a lot. And let's see. So even if you break into a light sweat out in the humidity, right? In Florida, Georgia, East Coast, Charleston, I was there for a couple years. It can be like 120 degrees and you get hit, you know, when you go out the door. If you sweat taking a walk to your car, that even that light sweat can sometimes trigger certain people. Here's the other reason sweat triggers people more so sometimes than others. It contains salt, which is drying and irritating. It also contains whatever toxins are in your body. So the more toxic your body is, the more toxic the sweat is that's coming out, okay? That's not actually written on here, so write that down on your little sheets about sweat. There's so much detail, and I've tried to include as much of it as I can and keep it on one page, you know, for your clients. And this is for you to reference. Pillowcase. Okay, so when we sleep every night, even though our faces are clean, we're producing oil, and some of the oil from our hair and, you know, our body or neck comes off onto the pillowcase. It will cause breakouts, especially when their skin is sensitive in the beginning and they're breaking out more and you're trying to get that initial clearing. So the trick is, oh my God, I have a really ratty pillow. I'd have to put a pillowcase on it to show you. But let's say this is your pillow. They're going to sleep here one night. Then they're going to flip it around and sleep on this side. Then they're going to flip their pillow. It's not looking like a pillow anymore. Over, sleep on this side, then turn it around and sleep on the other. So they get 4 days out of one pillowcase, okay? Then they need to change their pillowcase and not sleep on the same part of their pillow every night. They might be able to get away with a couple days after the initial clearing, but every little thing that they pile on that's cumulative could cause a breakout later, okay? So hair products and body products, they need to be natural, unscented, Also, their laundry detergent, which is in a separate line, everything needs to be fragrance free. Acne can't do anything with fragrance. So if there's hairspraying, you got to watch out. They're not getting that. And the hairspray needs to be fragrance free. So I was talking to another esthetician this week who said she was using Icing to grow her hair, and I said, but you did an allergy test that said you can't use anything with fragrances. And I said, that's full of fragrance. What are you doing? And she's, breaking out all over in weird cysts. Also, my other friend I was helping with acne, her entire body was itching so much she couldn't sleep after buying Bath and Body Works, and she didn't put two and two together that it was full of fragrance. And the second she took a shower with cold water, the itching completely stopped. I mean, that's how fragrance, if it was rated on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being nobody should be using it, fragrance is a 10 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10. So it's on the top 10 list for cancer. We shouldn't be breathing it in. I actually have a whole perfume line that's made with organic alcohols. Excuse me, I thought I muted everything, but I've got something beeping at us. Uh-oh, and Siri. I had another device. Oh, there we go. Okay, we're muted. So, anyway, make sure you're not getting anything extra. Hi, Demita. Yay. Make sure you're not getting anything extra in your laundry detergent, your shampoo, your conditioner. We're going to have some more products that we'll be bringing out that'll all be friendly, for skins that get anywhere from mild to severe breakouts, okay? Makeup. So a lot of times we switch their products, and then if you forget to switch their makeup, I really like Priya. We use 100% pure at our spa. I've thought about making a makeup line, but that's like a whole nother world, making makeup. And Priya is really good, P-R-I-I-A, and 100% pure is the one we use, but I've heard that they're very hard to open an account with now, which is a bummer. So make sure, for example, a lot of people still use Bare Minerals, and I personally can't use Bare Minerals. It makes me break out because of the bismuth oxychloride. It's an irritant, okay? So they can't use faux minerals. They can't use anything that says it's a mineral, but it's not acne friendly. A lot of the foundation bases are made of oils too that are clogging. So if it's a cream foundation, you probably need to head towards Priya, because they're going to use not just sunflower oil, but the linoleic type oleic sunflower oil can actually still break people out because it goes through man-made chemical process. What do you know? So makeup, they also need to not breathe in zinc and titanium powder if they're poofing a bunch of mineral makeup into the air. It's actually a major lung toxin, okay? And so I like to use disposable 2x2s and 4x4s as my sponges to apply makeup as much as possible, and nothing I use poofs into the air because that causes the skin another problem, okay? And brushes get dirty and people don't clean them like they should, and you don't want to take that risk with acne. I actually carry 2x2s and 4x4s for them to buy that are disposable because I just don't want to deal with them using dirty stuff on acne. That's terrible when they do. So let's see. Non-mineral brand makeup is most likely Breakout City with exclamation points on my little sheet here. If it's not mineral and it's not an acne friendly mineral that you're sure about makeup wise, they can't do it. MAC is a really big brand, and that is just super clogging. And any kind of stage makeup or, heavy makeup that would be more like that is going to be very cloggy, okay? And I could go through the ingredients and show you exactly why if you needed. So, okay, got through that. Oils. So using oils on your hair or your face, if they're not the right kind of oil, is a bad idea. People put coconut oil in their hair and they think because it's in their hair and it's not on their face that they're fine, right, with acne. Well, not the case, because if their hair is down, it's going to touch their face. Even if they keep their hair up all day and then they take it down to go to sleep, it's going to get all over their pillow. It's going to be all over their fingers after they put it on. So if they're putting coconut oil all over their body and then they go like this later that day, no, they can't. It's risky to give an acne client anything anywhere on their body, where they could put it on and then touch somewhere else, and then boom, they're gonna explode. And coconut oil, despite all the debates, I have a coconut and oxygen balm that I love for people's bodies, but people who struggle with a lot of acne, it's not a good idea to put that product in the mix. So I'm a fan in certain cases of it, but it's really a bad oil, and there's other ones as well for acne, and you don't want them applying any moisturizers or anything that has ingredients that could transfer somehow. Also, some people get body acne and backne, so if they're putting those lotions on their body, they could be making the issue a lot worse, okay? So icing, and for really inflamed cysts, there's directions on here. You want to apply the ice in circular motions for like 10 to 30 seconds and then stop and then repeat after you give your skin a little break, and do that several more times, and then repeat several times with the icing when you have a big infected cyst. And what that does is it slows down the progression of the bacteria, and it decreases the inflammation that you're going to see around that site. And last but not least is the breakout zone. So if you have acne, your face is most likely one of your detox zones, okay? Some people, they eat things that are toxic and they get really, really, really bad BO. Some people get all of the above, okay? They get acne, they get BO, some people just get really bad acne when their body is toxic. So when something changes internally or externally, it can set off a little explosion, depending on what's going on. And they will start to get breakouts, in their usual areas. So that's why you've got to investigate, see what's going on. So acne is about management long-term and not a cure, okay? So expect from time to time, if you have acne or your clients do, that they're probably going to deviate from their list sometimes, and they're going to have, or they don't get sleep. So I might have skipped over that. I think I skipped over toothpaste and lost sleep and stress, which are important. Their toothpaste probably contains parabens and all kinds of things that fluoride is really toxic actually for women. It's not something you want. I really, really like Kiss My Face toothpaste. I love that toothpaste. It's better than any of the other ones that I've used. And that's a good one to switch to. And then stress and lost sleep, they have to get 7 hours of sleep a night. If they don't, the hormones are going to start to rise and then they're going to break out. Okay? And so the last part of what I was finishing saying is, if they deviate, which they will at some point, they'll do something accidentally. Oh, Hannah, it's Kiss My Face toothpaste. I like the whitening one from them. You can order that wholesale too if you get little, I think 6 at a time. So 1 to 2 pimples, or maybe even around their period, if they don't do certain things to basically head it off at the pass, because the hormones are doing all kinds of things at that point when your period's coming, then it's good to go in and get your professional peel and go get some extractions before your period, or use your triple blemish control twice a day and really, put it on those areas that break out before your period. That way you prevent, the 1 or 2 pimples that might come up in certain circumstances. So if you've slipped up and you've got 1 or 2 things, or your client slipped up and they did 1 or 2 things and they're expecting a pimple or 2 that week, start trying to head it off at the pass. Do a Hungarian mud mask. Do icing if something starts at all. When it's tiny, start icing it and don't let the bacteria multiply. So there's plenty you can do to be in control and manage your acne. Okay? All right. So we got through it all, and I'll be showing my extraction method. I'll try to find another model where I can do the whole series of like 3 to 6 treatments. And uh-oh, I just popped off of Facebook. I do have a Facebook page. I see somebody commenting. It's for licensed estheticians. And I'm waiting to reconnect on Facebook, but this is the end of the class today. Oh, there you guys are. Sorry about that. I disconnected. I'm on terrible internet here at the spa. My new spa has like super speed internet, and I'm very excited about it because I'm going to be going live and stuff a lot more. Going live is easier for me to teach you guys more, because when we film, then I go through, and of course I'm a perfectionist because I'm an esthetician and we have to edit it, and it takes longer to get to you guys. So I'm going to have to be good like one of those newscasters who, can just make a good video live so we can do a lot more classes for you guys. I really wanted to do classes twice a week when I started, and now I think that I'll be set up that I can get something done at least bi-monthly, but on my good months I might be able to get up to like 8 classes done in a month. So keep an eye on me because we're going to be doing a lot more. Okay? All right. It was good to see everybody. Bye-bye, YouTubers. Bye-bye, my estheticians. And I will talk to you guys soon. I'll respond to all comments. I don't know how to check the comments on YouTube. While they're live, I'm still trying to figure it all out because this is the second time I've gone live. And then Facebook, I'm all dialed in, and I will respond to comments if you don't have the protocols or anything like that. And then if you're on YouTube and you're not an esthetician, we have estheticians all over the country that are using our products and our techniques. So if you would like to get our products and work with a professional, you can just contact me. So our store is www.jessaskincare.com, and I also have our sugaring website, which is sugaringprofessional.com. All right, I'll talk to you guys later, and find Esthetician Talk if you're an esthetician on YouTube. Bye bye.